Are you ready to delve into the life and art of one of the most enigmatic painters of all time? Vincent van Gogh's name is synonymous with passion, creativity, and tragedy. Despite his short life, he left behind a legacy of beautiful paintings that continue to captivate audiences around the world. In this video, we will take a closer look at Van Gogh's turbulent life, his artistic struggles, and the masterpiece that made him one of the most beloved artists of all time. Vincent van Gogh was born in the Netherlands in 1853. He grew up in a religious family and initially pursued a career in theology, but later decided to become an artist. In his 20s, he moved to Brussels to study art, and then continued his studies in Paris. During this time, he was heavily influenced by the works of the Impressionists and Post-Impressionists, which would later shape his own distinctive style. In 1886, Van Gogh moved to the south of France, where he lived and worked for the rest of his life. During this period, he produced some of his most famous works, including The Starry Night, Sunflowers, and The Potato Eaters. Despite his creative output, however, Van Gogh struggled with poverty, loneliness, and mental health issues throughout much of his life. He was frequently hospitalized for his mental health, and eventually took his own life in 1890 at the age of 37. Despite his difficult life and premature death, Vincent van Gogh is now widely recognized as one of the greatest artists of all time. His distinctive style, with its bold use of color and thick, impasto brush strokes, has had a profound influence on the development of modern art, and his paintings are among the most famous and valuable in the world. Today, his life and work continue to inspire new generations of artists and art lovers, and his legacy endures as a testament to the power of the human spirit and the creative imagination. Vincent van Gogh struggled with mental health issues throughout much of his life. He was known to experience frequent bouts of anxiety and depression, and was also diagnosed with epilepsy. During one particularly severe episode of mental illness, Van Gogh admitted himself to the St. Paul Mausole Asylum in Saint-Rémy, Provence, France, where he stayed for a year. Despite his struggles, Van Gogh continued to paint, producing some of his most famous works during this period. However, the experience of mental illness was clearly a source of great suffering for him, and he wrote about his struggles in letters to his brother Theo. In one letter, for example, he wrote, "I put my heart and soul into my work, and have lost my mind in the process." Wheat Field with Cypresses is a painting by Vincent van Gogh created in 1889, during his stay at the St. Paul Mausole Asylum in Saint-Rémy, France. This painting is considered one of Van Gogh's greatest masterpieces and is widely admired for its powerful use of color, brushwork, and composition. The painting depicts a lush, rolling field of wheat, bordered by dark cypress trees and set against a vibrant blue sky. The scene is bathed in the warm glow of the sun, which casts long shadows and highlights the undulating curves of the landscape. The thick impasto of the brushwork gives the painting a sense of energy and movement, while the bold, contrasting colors convey a sense of emotion and excitement. Wheat Field with Cypresses is considered one of Van Gogh's most important works, both for its beauty and for its significance in the development of his artistic style. The painting reflects Van Gogh's fascination with the beauty of the natural world and his desire to capture the intensity and emotions of the moment. Today, Wheat Field with Cypresses is housed in the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York City. Vincent van Gogh's work has had a profound and lasting impact on the art world, and is widely regarded as some of the most significant and influential of the 19th century. Van Gogh's distinctive style, characterized by bold and vivid use of color, thick impasto brushstrokes, and intense, emotive subject matter, was a radical departure from the more traditional and subdued styles that were popular at the time. He was also one of the first artists to use the technique of painting with strong and expressive brushwork, which would later become a hallmark of modern art. Despite his lack of recognition and financial success during his lifetime, Van Gogh's paintings have since become some of the most famous and valuable in the world. For example, The Starry Night is now considered one of the greatest masterpieces of modern art, and has inspired countless imitations and adaptations. Similarly, Sunflowers has become an iconic image, and is widely recognized as one of the most recognizable and beloved paintings of all time. In addition to his distinctive style, Van Gogh's work is also notable for its emotional intensity and its exploration of universal themes, such as love, loss, and the human condition. Through his paintings, Van Gogh captured the beauty and tragedy of life with a raw and powerful authenticity that continues to resonate with audiences today. Vincent van Gogh's letters to his brother Theo are some of the most revealing and intimate documents of his life and work. Van Gogh wrote hundreds of letters to Theo during his short life, and these letters offer a fascinating window into his thoughts, feelings, and artistic vision. Van Gogh wrote frequently about his art, his creative process, and his evolving ideas about art and the world. He shared his thoughts on color, form, and composition, and discussed his struggles to find his own unique style. The Night Cafe, painted in 1888, is a prime example of a painting that Van Gogh wrote about in a letter to Theo. In the letter, Van Gogh described the painting as follows: "I have tried to express the idea that the cafe is a place where one can ruin oneself, go mad, or commit a crime. So I have tried to express, as it were, the powers of darkness in a low public house, by soft Louis X green and malachite, contrasting with yellow green and citron greens. The white entrance door, on the right, illuminated by a lamp, seems to open on a magical garden, like in the fairy tales of our childhood." In this letter, Van Gogh provides a detailed description of the painting and the emotions he wanted to convey through the use of color and composition. The Night Cafe is widely considered one of Van Gogh's most important works and is noted for its bold, impasto brushwork and its expressive use of color. Today, the painting is housed in the Yale University Art Gallery in New Haven, Connecticut. Despite his many difficulties, Van Gogh was often candid about his struggles with mental health, and his letters to Theo provide a poignant and intimate look at his struggles with depression, anxiety, and other mental health issues. Van Gogh's lack of financial success was a source of great frustration and disappointment for him, and he frequently wrote to his brother Theo about his financial difficulties. He was deeply committed to his work as an artist, but struggled to make ends meet and often relied on Theo for financial support. Above all, Van Gogh's letters to Theo are expressions of love and affection for his brother, who was a constant source of support and encouragement throughout his life. In his letters, Van Gogh frequently expressed his gratitude for Theo's friendship and for his unwavering belief in his artistic vision. The Sunflowers is a series of paintings created by Vincent van Gogh in 1888. This series of paintings is one of Van Gogh's most famous and recognizable works, and is widely regarded as a masterpiece of the Post-Impressionist movement. The paintings depict large sunflowers in a vase, with their bright yellow petals and bold green leaves arranged against a blue background. The thick impasto of the brushwork gives the paintings a sense of texture and volume, while the bold, contrasting colors convey a sense of energy and life. Van Gogh painted several versions of the sunflowers, each one exploring different aspects of the subject. In some paintings, the sunflowers are depicted in a more formal, symmetrical arrangement, while in others, the flowers are more casually arranged, with some bending and drooping over the edges of the vase. The subject matter of the sunflowers was inspired by Van Gogh's love of nature and his desire to capture its beauty and vitality in his paintings. The bright, cheerful colors of the sunflowers are thought to have symbolized hope and optimism for Van Gogh, who struggled with mental health issues throughout his life. The original paintings are housed in several of the world's leading art museums, including the National Gallery in London and the Van Gogh Museum in Amsterdam. Van Gogh had a plan to establish an artists' community, the Atelier of the South, in the south of France, where he could work and live with other artists who shared his vision and creative goals. The idea for the Atelier of the South came to Van Gogh after he moved to Arles, France in 1888. He was inspired by the light, the colors, and the beauty of the southern landscape, and he believed that this region offered an ideal setting for artists to create and collaborate. Van Gogh hoped that the Atelier of the South would provide a supportive and inspiring environment for artists, where they could live, work, and create together. He believed that by pooling their resources and talents, artists could help each other to achieve their creative goals. And he was particularly interested in collaborating with other post-impressionist artists like Paul Gauguin and Émile Bernard. Unfortunately, Van Gogh's vision for the Atelier of the South was never fully realized. Despite his efforts to bring other artists to Arles and to establish a creative community, he faced many challenges, including financial difficulties, health problems, and conflicts with other artists. Paul Gauguin was a French post-impressionist artist and a close friend and colleague of Vincent van Gogh. Paul Gauguin's visit to Arles was particularly significant, as it was during this time that Van Gogh hoped to establish the Atelier of the South that he had been dreaming of. He was eager to collaborate with Gauguin, and he hoped that the two of them would be able to work together to create a new kind of art that was unlike anything that had been seen before. During the short time that they worked together, Van Gogh and Gauguin had a profound impact on each other's work, and they collaborated on several paintings. They had many long conversations about art, life, and the world, and both artists felt that they had found a like-minded creative partner in each other. However, their relationship was not without its challenges. The two artists had very different personalities and lifestyles, and their artistic visions sometimes clashed. Despite these differences, they continued to work together and to support each other's work, and their relationship remained close and productive until Gauguin left Arles in 1888. Some experts have suggested that the ear cutting was a result of an altercation with Paul Gauguin. According to this theory, the two artists had a heated argument, and Van Gogh may have cut off his ear in a fit of rage or as a gesture of self-punishment. After Gauguin's departure, Van Gogh's mental and emotional state deteriorated rapidly, and he was eventually institutionalized for a time. Despite this, the two artists remained in contact through letters and continued to express their admiration and respect for each other's work. The Starry Night is a famous oil painting created in 1889 while he was a resident at the St. Paul Mausole Asylum in Saint-Rémy, Provence, France. The painting is considered one of Van Gogh's masterpieces and is one of the most recognizable works of the post-impressionist movement. The painting depicts a view from Van Gogh's window at the asylum, showing the night sky filled with stars and a cypress tree in the foreground. The brushwork in the Starry Night is distinctive, with bold, swirling lines that convey a sense of movement and energy. The colors are intense and vibrant, with blues and yellows predominating. The cypress tree is depicted with deep, dark outlines that contrast with the lighter colors of the sky. The Starry Night is notable for its innovative use of color and form to convey the artist's emotional state. The swirling lines and vibrant colors are thought to reflect Van Gogh's feelings of restless energy, while the deep, dark colors of the cypress tree may symbolize his feelings of solitude and isolation. Despite the challenges he faced in his life, Van Gogh was passionate about his art, and he was highly productive during his time at the asylum. The Starry Night is just one of many masterpieces that he created during this period, and it remains one of his most famous and beloved works of art today. Despite these challenges, Van Gogh's artistic output was prodigious. He produced more than 2,000 works of art during his lifetime, including hundreds of paintings, drawings, and prints. Many experts believe that Van Gogh's mental health played a key role in the development of his unique artistic style. His vivid, imaginative paintings are thought to be a direct expression of his internal world, and they offer a powerful insight into the mind of one of the greatest artists of all time. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and make sure to subscribe for more amazing content.